We're not live yet, right? We are? Can we cut the fee? The live fee for a minute? Majority Leader Clark, we're not live yet, but you stated that we're adding. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for being with us this evening. To members present in our audience and our members that are viewing us through a social platform and virtually, I am calling this regularly scheduled council meeting of November 28th, 2022 to order. For members of the community, please be advised that this meeting is being broadcasted and recorded by the Hartford Public Access Television and can be viewed via the Hartford Public Access TV Facebook page, Comcast Xfinity Channel 96, www.hpa-tv.org, or Channel 6032 for Frontier customers. Spanish interpretation is provided through a partnership with the City of Hartford and the Hartford Public Library. Additional accommodations can be made available with enough notice to the Office of Council President. So once again, thank you for being with us this evening. Mr. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Councilman Clark.
Here.
Councilman Gale.
Here.
Councilwoman Hercules.
Present.
Councilman LeBron.
Present.
Councilman Mitchum.
Here.
Councilwoman Rosado.
Present.
Councilwoman Rossetti.
Here.
Councilman Sanchez.
Present.
Councilwoman Surgeon.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. And now if you could please stand and join me on the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. I would like to make the motion, good evening, everyone, to approve the minutes of the November 14th, 2022 council meeting.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly second. Are there any comments or discussion on the minutes? There being none, Mr. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Councilman Clark.
Yes.
Councilman Gale.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hercules.
Yes.
Councilman LeBron.
Yes.
Councilman Mitchum.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rossetti.
Yes.
Councilman Sanchez.
Yes.
Councilwoman Surgeon.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Mr. Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Through you, I'd like to make the motion that we place on the consent calendar the following items. Communication item 3.2, Mayor BRONIN with accompanying resolution authorizing the city to accept a grant in the amount of $18,383.35 from the State of Connecticut Department of Transportation Highway Safety Office. Communication item 3.4, Mayor BRONIN with accompanying resolution authorizing the city to accept $100,000 from the Hartford Insurance Company for the Hartford Fire Department's Fire Safety Public Education Program. Communication item 3.5, Mayor BRONIN with accompanying resolution authorizing proposed investments that represent a significant and perhaps unprecedented set of commitments to the city on these issues. Item 4.1, Public Works, Parks, Recreation, and Environment Committee with accompanying resolution authorizing the city to enter into an agreement with the federal government to complete a rehabilitation feasibility study of the Hartford flood damage reduction systems. Item 4.2, Public Works, Parks, Recreation, and Environment Committee with accompanying substitute resolution requesting that the administration perform an operational review of current parks and recreation programming and opportunities provided by the state of Hartford to residents and others to be submitted to the City Council on or before December 1st, 2022. Item 4.3, Public Works, Parks, Recreation, and Environment Committee with accompanying resolution authorizing the city to accept an $84,000 grant for the City of Hartford Tree Mitigation Program. Item 4.4, Public Works, Parks, Recreation, and Environment Committee with accompanying resolution authorizing the city to accept a grant of $250,000 through the Urban Green and Community Gardening Grant Initiative. Item 4.5, Committee of the Whole with an accompanying resolution confirming the appointment of Sharice Snipes to the position of Chief Innovation Officer of the Metro Hartford Innovation Services. Item 4.6, Committee of the Whole with accompanying substitute resolution to address ongoing housing issues. Item 4.8, Operations Management, Budget, and Government Accountability Committee with accompanying ordinance amending Chapter 2, Article 19 of the Hartford Municipal Code that had a public hearing on Monday, October 17th, 2022 at 7 p.m. Item 4.10, Operations Management, Budget, and Government Accountability Committee with accompanying resolution authorizing the transfers of fiscal year 2022 general fund budget, which was item 3.3 on the November 14th, 2022 agenda, and item 5.1, Mayor BRONIN with accompanying ordinance repealing and replacing Chapter 2, Sections 327 to 330 of the Hartford Municipal Code. And just want to highlight that item 4.2, the resolution we're voting on is for the substitute resolution that was amended in the committee.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly second. Are there any discussions, any comments on the consent calendar? There being none, Mr. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Councilman Clark.
Yes.
Councilman Gale.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hercules.
Yes.
Councilman LeBron.
Yes.
Councilman Mitchum.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rossetti.
Yes.
Councilman Sanchez.
Yes.
Councilwoman Surgeon.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Mr. Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Through you, I'd like to make the motion that we receive the following items. Item 3.7, Operations Management, Budget, and Government Accountability Committee, communication concerning accompanying ordinance making general fund appropriations to reflect project costs relative to the public improvements in the McDonough Middle School. Item 3.8, Operations Management, Budget, and Government Accountability Committee, communication concerning ordinance making general fund appropriations to reflect project costs relative to the improvements of the Expeditionary Learning Academy at Moylan, ELAMS. Item 3.9, Operations Management, Budget, and Government Accountability, communication concerning an accompanying ordinance making general fund appropriations to reflect project costs relative to public improvements in the Parkville Community School. Item 3.10, Operations Management, Budget, and Government Accountability Committee, communication concerning an ordinance amending Chapter 17 of Chapter 2, Article 17 of Chapter 2 of the Hartford Municipal Code that had a hearing date on Monday, June 20th, 2022 at 7 p.m. and also was item 5.1 on the May 23rd council agenda.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly second. Are there any discussions, any comments? There being none, Mr. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Councilman Clark.
Yes.
Councilman Gale.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hercules.
Yes.
Councilman LeBron.
Yes.
Councilman Mitchum.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rossetti.
Yes.
Councilman Sanchez.
Yes.
Councilwoman Surgeon.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Mr. Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Through you, I would like to make the motion that we refer the following items to the mentioned committees. Item 3.1, Mayor BRONIN with accompanying resolution authorizing the city of Hartford to acquire the property located at 81-99 Bartholomew Avenue to be referred to the Planning, Economic Development, and Housing Committee. Item 3.3, Mayor BRONIN with accompanying resolution authorizing the city to accept a grant of $1,999,567 from the U.S. Department of Justice to be referred to the Quality Life and Public Safety Committee. Item 3.6, Mayor BRONIN with accompanying resolution confirming the appointment of Julian Freund to the position of Director of Management, Budget, and Grants to be referred to the Committee of the Whole.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly second. Are there any comments, any discussion? There being none, Mr. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Councilman Clark.
Yes.
Councilman Gale.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hercules.
Yes.
Councilman LeBron.
Yes.
Councilman Mitchum.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rossetti.
Yes.
Councilman Sanchez.
Yes.
Councilwoman Surgeon.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Mr. Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Through you, I'd like to make the motion that we postpone the following items. Item 5.2, Mayor Bronin with accompanying ordinance making general fund appropriations to reflect project costs relative to public improvements in the McDonough Middle School. Item 5.3, Mayor Bronin with accompanying ordinance making general fund appropriations to reflect project costs relative to public improvements in the Parkville Community School. Item 5.4, Mayor Bronin with accompanying ordinance making general fund appropriations to reflect project costs relative to public improvements in the Expeditionary Learning Academy at Moylan, ELAMS. And also to item 5.5, Council President Rosado, an ordinance amending Article 17 of Chapter 2 of the Municipal Code of Hartford. And item 6.1, Mayor Bronin with accompanying resolution enter into executive session to discuss the potential resolution of the Harjuan Imatovic versus Juan Michael Mendez.
Second.
A motion has been made and properly second. Are there any discussions? Any discussions, any comments? There being none, Mr. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Councilman Clark,
Yes.
Councilman Gale,
Yes.
Councilwoman Hercules,
Yes.
Councilman LeBron,
Yes.
Councilman Mitchum,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rossetti,
Yes.
Councilman Sanchez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Surgeon.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Mr. Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Through you, I'd like to make the motion that we take action on item 4.7, Operations Management Budget and Government Accountability Committee with accompanying ordinance amending Chapter 2, Section 350 of the Hartford Municipal Code.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly second. Councilman Mitchum?
Thank you, Madam President. Just an inquiry for anyone. I know when this was before OMBGA, there was a question of whether the increase could be increased by another 0.5%. And I think that committee sort of left it with, we're going to hear back to see if that's possible. What was the outcome of that, if we know?
We were just about to make a motion to amend that resolution. So I think your question will be answered in a couple of minutes
Thank
by
you.
Councilman Gale. You're welcome. Councilman Gale, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. And indeed, to Councilman Mitchum's comment a moment ago, the question was asked at committee of our Director of Finance what the cost would be to increase the pay raise for our non-unionized employees from 1.5% to 2%, and we received an email back telling us that that increase would be $48,777, recognizing that that's for 1/2 year of the pay increase starting January 1st through June 30th. With that information in hand, I would make a motion to amend the ordinance in front of us in the last paragraph of the ordinance where it states all active full-time, part-time employees occupying non-union classified or unclassified positions will receive and I would strike the next words and replace them with 2% general wage increase effective the first pay period in January of 2023.
Second that.
Motion has been made and properly second. Are there any discussions? Councilwoman Surgeon.
Thank you, Council President. Through you, Council President, just want to make sure that we are legally doing what we can do to amend this ordinance at this time. So my question through you to the Corporation Council, can we do that, seeing that this is an ordinance, can we do so?
I believe your question is going to be answered by Corporation Counsel Howard Rifkin. You have the floor.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Council President. Two points. To Councilwoman Surgeon, yes, this is allowed, and my opinion is this is not substantive under our charter that would then require another hearing and subsequent vote by the council. That's number one. Number two, the amendment should actually, there are two places where it should read 2% rather than 1.5%. So there is a provision relating to the pay band, and then the second, the actual general wage increase of 2%. So that all non-bargaining unit members could actually receive the 2% increase. That amendment would have to be in both places of the underlying language in the proposed ordinance.
So I will assume you will withdraw your current motion, yes, and redo it.
I will take that as a friendly amendment to the motion. I apologize.
I don't get to make amendments, so
Yes.
my recommendation would be, Councilman Gale, is to rephrase your proposed amendment.
I'll restate the amendment then, taking Corp Counsel's advice. And my apologies that the bottom part of my ordinance was cut off, so I didn't see that it was indeed in there in two places. So I move to amend the ordinance by replacing in two places where the words 1.5% are to be found with the words 2%.
Second. Thank you. So, Councilwoman Rossetti, Surgeon?
Thank you, Madam President. Through you, Madam President, in the committee meeting, when we had such a great discussion, one of the things that was mentioned is that we have some great employees. We don't want to lose them. And this 2% is pretty much in line with the other bargaining units, members, what they have gotten a raise in through their bargaining union. And these employees do not have anyone bargaining for them as a union. So I strongly support this change to 2%, and I am gladly going to vote for this change in the amendment.
Thank you, Councilwoman Surgeon. Councilman Clark?
Thank you, Madam President. Through you, yes, I would echo the sentiments that I think that it is rightfully justified for us to amend this to increase it to 2%. The city's unclassified workforce really does not receive the gross wage increase steps that as the regular bargaining units would. And so it's very rare at times that the unclassified non-union members would receive a raise. And one can make an argument that their salaries aren't as equitable as it is to the those that belong to the union. So I fully support this, and keep in mind that I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, most of our unclassified non-union employees are residents of the city of Hartford. So we always want to keep in mind what we're doing to put our Hartford residents first, who are put themselves, in the in this realm to work on behalf of the city of Hartford. Thank you.
Absolutely, and I echo those comments also. Know that we, as a council body, appreciate your hard work on a daily basis for going above and beyond. Are there any other comments or questions? There being none, Mr. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Councilman Clark,
As amended, yes.
Councilman Gale,
Yes.
Councilman Hercules,
Yes.
Councilman LeBron,
Yes.
Councilman Mitchum,
Yes.
Councilman Rosado,
Yes.
Councilman Rossetti,
Yes.
Councilman Sanchez,
Yes.
Councilman Surgeon.
Yes to the amendment.
Amendment passed.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. And now we're back to the amended ordinance. If you could please call the roll.
Councilman Clark,
On the amendment, yes.
Councilman Gale,
Yes.
Councilman Hercules,
Yes.
Councilman LeBron,
Yes.
Councilman Mitchum,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rosado,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rossetti,
Yes.
Councilman Sanchez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Surgeon.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Mr. Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Through you, I'd like to make the motion that we take action on item 4.9, which is Operations, Management, Budget, and Government Accountability, with an accompanying resolution authorizing the city to enter into a tax fixing agreement with Naeem Khalid doing business as 31 Kenyon Place LLC, which was item 3.1 on the November 14th, 2022 agenda.
Second.
Motion has been made and properly second. Are there any comments? Any comments? Councilwoman Hercules.
Thank you, Madam President. Through you, just briefly, because I did vote no for this item at the OMBGA committee meeting, and I was multitasking with children, so I didn't have a time to really explain the reason why I voted no. It just seems, while I am, like most of you all, happy that there will be something on this parcel that has been vacant for a long time, it just seems that the city is losing on both ends in this. On the one hand, we have property that is, for most purposes, not affordable for most residents of Hartford, being developed as, albeit a beautiful development that's going to be built. It doesn't, to me, align with our interests in creating more affordable property. And then on the back end, the city is losing out in a significant amount of tax revenue for a 10-year period. And so it seems if we are a city that really is committed to a mission of making sure that most residents can afford to live here, and those who do live here, that we have to be able to prioritize that by either incentivizing affordable housing or ensuring that developers of non-affordable housing are paying the full tax to the city, so that we can use that revenue and leverage it for our priorities, such as affordable housing. So for me, this development misses the mark. While it does certainly fill a void, it kind of creates one in a sense, as far as affordable housing is concerned, in my opinion. And so that is the reason why I am voting no.
Thank you for your comments. Are there any other comments? There being none, Mr. Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Councilman Clark,
Yes.
Councilman Gale,
Yes.
Councilman Hercules,
No.
Councilman LeBron,
Yes.
Councilman Mishton,
No.
Councilwoman Rosado,
Yes.
Councilwoman Rossetti,
Yes.
Councilman Sanchez,
Yes.
Councilwoman Surgeon.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. That concludes our business for this evening. I do want to congratulate the confirmation for the appointment of Ms. Cherie Snipes to the position of Chief Innovation Officer of the Metro Innovations Services Department, also known as MHIS. Congratulations. And this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Oh, jeez. I wanted was to congratulate the Hurricanes.